Well, hi everyone, and as I've said before, I'm back. Floor's been swept, ready for another round of John Deere B tractor restoration. And as you can see, there's plenty more still to come. The tractor hasn't taken shape much since I think the last video I did was June, July, which I've just been getting posted now. One regarding a carburetor rebuild and two regarding crankshaft and camshaft installations in the John Deere B. So yes, we're back, hopefully for a finish this time before I get busy again. Soon comes round. It's I think we're into the second year now of repairs and rebuild, but there you have it. And just to cap it all out here, there's another tractor getting rebuilt. As you can see, if you can, without the light against you, this is a well, can you tell me what it is? I'm sure some of you will recognise it. It's a Case D, or in this case it's a Case DEX, which is the D export model exported to the UK during the Second World War. It's we believe it's to be a 1944-45 tractor. Not 100% sure. Believe it or not, it actually has a bit of family connection via my marriage. This tractor is my wife's tractor, as she used to call it that, and it belongs to her father. His father was a contractor during the war years, and as you may know, some of you, tractors were shipped over from the US to help with the war effort. And this Case DEX is one such tractor. So it'd be nice to get it rebuilt, this one. I'm not actually rebuilding it. I've got a good friend of mine who is stripping it down, and he is doing quite a bit of work on it. Although I suspect I'll be involved with some of the work as it progresses. It is your typical hedge-back fine tractor. This tractor has laid in a thicket of nettles and brambles in an orchard for the last 35 years out in the open. So you can imagine it is seized in every place possible. And what did I say many videos ago? I would never rebuild a seized tractor again. Of such condition anyway. So, hence why I've shipped it out to a friend. Yes. The engine is now free, eventually. I'm hoping the bores are going to be good. We think it was actually seized in the clutch area. There was a lot of rust and damage done by water in the clutch area. But I will do a few videos of this tractor as time goes along, but probably not as in depth as the John Deere ones. Yeah, interested in seeing it going. They're not something that floats my boat, I've got to say. I've never been a Case fan, but anyway, we'll get it rebuilt and go from there, really. Sorry the light's not too brilliant. I've never got the lighting sorted out in this part of the shed. Unfortunately, if planning goes to plan, this building is to be knocked down in the next 18 months that we're in, which is a shame, really. But the farm have decided that this building has to be taken down and a much larger one put up. So all good things. I'm told there is a new workshop to be built, so I'll look forward to that. But we might have to uproot, as it were, sooner than later, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse, pardon my English, but there you go. So getting back to the John Deere, here we are. I think the last video that will have been posted before this one was about camshaft installation. I believe I got the camshaft put in. Seem to have a bit of a shake on tonight. I think it's because it's cold. And here we are with the final installation of the camshaft, getting the end float. The end float being the amount of direction the shaft floats this way. So I've got it in. I'll try and see if this will show up. Now in the book it talks of between 15 and 30 thousandths of an inch. 30 thou seems a heck of a large end float to me. But anyway, that's what it talks of. Now I have basically got 10 thou. And I think that's enough. I really do. By the time I get some gasket sealer under these gaskets behind this cover here, I think it'll bring me up to nearly 15 thou. As I say, we're trying to build this engine up fairly tight, so it's so there's not too much noise and slogger in it. But as you can see, there we go on that gauge. 0 there, round about 10 thou of an inch. I'll then play backwards and forwards this way. And if you recall, you put the gaskets, there they are, under this bearing housing, and that achieves you that a modicum of movement on the shaft end. As I say, I can't understand why it's such a big figure. No, I don't understand why. I can't see it being a problem as it is. No. So things haven't taken too much hurt over the few months that I've been away. Some of these pieces just getting a bit of surface rust on them, but they'll soon wire brush off, and I'll get some green undercoat on them sooner than later. I'll just go around this side. As you can see, obviously the A-frame's still here. I hope to get the front pedestal, which is laid there. I don't know if we did a video regarding that coming back, but it's been machined with a proper thrust bearing for that end, for the steering. It's a bit of an experimental idea I'm trying, but I hope it shall work. There's plenty of metal left, so for a bearing to go in there. So I'll get that shot blasted, get this shot blasted, and we can get that put on. Just one thing on this side, I think I did some lock wires on these bolt heads, on this mains bearing carrier. Obviously you don't want any of those bolts coming slack while the engine's running and fouling anything inside the clutch area and gears. Although there's only 2 gears in here, but you don't want anything coming out and locking something up. I still have a core plug to find to go in there. The original core plug had rotted out. At the moment I'm struggling. It's around about 80 millimeters, which is, I think it'll be 3 3/3 inches. So 80 millimeter or 3 3/4, I think anyway. I might have to make one yet if I can't find one. I have a mate in the trucking business who rebuild engines, so I'll have a word with him, but some of these engines now, they hardly use core plugs, so yeah. Yeah, so things are looking good. I think we discussed about the final timing of the gears. If I come back around here and grab a torch, the old torch is about on my last legs is this one, so I'm going to have to repair it, get a fresh one I think. If I shine this in there, Actually, I'll put it on the pencil beam, might be easier. Now then, can you see the two dots that we talked about in the last video? There they are, end of my finger. If I turn them, oh, that wasn't a clever idea. Hang on, I'll just move the dial gauge out the way. There we go. Now if we turn them there, you can see them. There they are. There's the tooth marked on the crankshaft with one white stripe. And, oh, is it going to come out? There's the two on the camshaft gear. Two on the camshaft gear with the two white stripes. So the one with the one obviously sits between the two on the camshaft. So that is what you're achieving. And if you recall, I said when that white dot on the camshaft gear there was allegedly at the top, the right hand lobe on this side of the camshaft should be pointing near enough vertical, which it does. Yeah. So there they come back round again. There they are. So that is the camshaft timed. The white paint I couldn't remember the name of was of course Tipp-Ex. Tipp-Ex, and the only reason I use it is because there's a little brush or a little spongy thing that makes it easy to mark. So yeah, so I'll get that gear, that camshaft bearing tightened down with a bit of sealant in behind it, and we move on to the next thing, which I think is probably going to be installing conrods and pistons. Conrods and pistons, which will be good. Look forward to doing that. I won't put the governor on yet because obviously it's going to be in the way for getting bolts and stuff tightened up. One other thing, remember when you're doing this, or if you're doing this, is remember those little oil lines in there. There's one. Just make sure you tighten them all up as you go on. If you don't, suddenly you'll wonder why there's no oil pressure. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. This video is coming up to 13 minutes. And yeah, good to be back. Sorry for the delay. As I say, you know, I do work on a working farm, and you know, busy times of year have to take precedence. So, but yeah, thanks for all the comments as well. Much appreciated. I'm glad I'm helping people out and people are finding them of interest. But great stuff. All right then. Thank you very much. Bye.